Did you know that a single court ruling in 1999 gave oil companies legal permission to lie, to call cheap, recycled garbage full synthetic, and charge you premium prices for it? Oil companies have been robbing you ever since. Today, that stops. I'm exposing 5 oils destroying engines right now, and revealing 11 that actually protect engines. Plus 1 bonus oil most American drivers have never heard of and will wish they found sooner. Number 11. Kirkland Signature Full Synthetic. Let me be blunt. Most budget oils are a trap. They look cheap, they pour thin, and they leave your engine begging for mercy by 3,000 miles. But Kirkland is the one low-cost oil that refuses to play that game. It punches way above its weight. It protects better than some big brands with double the price tag. Kirkland holds its thickness under heat. It fights sludge, and it keeps wear metals low, even in long stop-and-go driving. If you're trying to hit 200,000 miles without draining your wallet, this is the smartest starting point. It works in daily drivers, old sedans, work cars, and anything that needs solid protection without drama. But here's the warning. Don't stretch it. Change it every 5,000 miles. And never pair it with cheap oil filters. Use a Wix, Mobil 1, or Fram Ultra. That combo gives your engine a fighting chance when life gets hot, dusty, or ugly. If your budget is tight, but you still want real protection, start here. Kirkland keeps engines alive far longer than its price suggests. Now, let's step into something hotter. This next oil is built for pressure, heat, and speed. Number 10. Model 8 100X Clean. This oil is built for heat, pressure, and punishment. It holds its thickness when other oils turn thin and weak. It keeps metal parts coated, even at redline. And it protects those tight European tolerances that destroy cheaper oils in months, not years. If you drive a BMW, Audi, Mercedes, VW, or any high-compression turbo motor, you don't get to pick any synthetic. You need an oil with real ACEA approvals, real shear strength, and real heat control. Model checks every box. It quiets chain noise, steadies idle, and keeps the top end clean. That means fewer surprises, fewer leaks, and fewer late-night repair bills. Tip for long life. Stick to 5,000-mile intervals and pair Motul with an OEM filter like MAN, Malo, or Hengst filter. That combo keeps those engines tight, cool, and smooth. Now, if you want something built to go the distance, and I mean long distance, there's another oil in this lineup that stands out. Number 9. Mobil 1 Extended Performance. Some oils are tough. This one is stubborn. Mobil 1 Extended Performance refuses to quit, even when the engine is begging for mercy. Heat, traffic, long trips, cold starts. It handles all of it without losing its backbone. That's why so many mechanics trust it for cars that see real miles, not weekend miles. The biggest win here is stability. Many oils thin out fast, but this one holds steady past 250 degrees Fahrenheit, where cheap synthetics melt down and leave your engine naked. Mobil 1 locks in its thickness, keeps metal from scraping, and gives the engine a clean, smooth start every morning. If you've ever heard your engine clatter on startup, this oil cuts that down fast. Another tip, pair it with a Mobil 1 or Fram Ultra filter and stick to 7,500 to 10,000 miles max. Ignore the 20,000-mile claim unless you want to gamble with carbon. Good oil isn't magic. You still need smart intervals. If you want long life, solid heat control, and clean internals, this one delivers. It's a simple choice for drivers who clock serious mileage and want an engine that feels steady year after year. Now, if you want something built to handle extreme pressure, not just heat, there's another oil that steps up. Number 8. Castrol Edge Advanced Full Synthetic. Your engine has one enemy most drivers never think about: pressure. Not heat, not mileage, but pressure that crushes weak oils and forces metal to scrape metal. And here's where Castrol Edge steps in. When other oils thin out, Edge stiffens. When pressure spikes, it digs in. That titanium package isn't a gimmick. It's the only thing keeping some engines alive under real stress. Direct injection engines run hot and angry. Turbos cook oil fast. Stop-and-go traffic pounds your motor harder than you think. Most oils get soft. Edge stays firm. That's why engines running this blend often feel smoother, pull harder, and stay cleaner inside. The power loss you thought was age? Many times, it's just weak oil folding under pressure. Give Edge 6,000 to 7,500 miles max, and use a good filter. This keeps the oil film strong enough to stop early wear before it becomes a loud, expensive surprise. Castrol Edge is the oil you use when your engine fights pressure all day and needs something that won't bend. And if you want an oil that doesn't just stand firm, but actually scrubs away the dirt holding your engine back, there's a classic name built for that job. Number 7. Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic. Some engines don't die from heat or age. They die from dirt, the kind you never see until it's too late. And this is where Valvoline walks in like the one friend who grabs a mop before the mess even starts. Most oils only protect. Valvoline protects and cleans at the same time. Its detergent package is no joke. It lifts sludge, breaks down old gunk, and keeps the filth suspended so it never sticks to rings, seals, or lifters. If you bought a used car and don't know its past, this oil is the safest reset button you'll ever pour into your engine. The best part? It calms noisy lifters, tightens up rough idle, and cuts oil burning in older motors because it conditions seals without swelling them to death. And in hot climates, Valvoline holds its thickness like a champ, while cheaper oils turn watery and weak. Run 2 back-to-back short intervals, about 3,000 miles. If your engine has unknown history, Valvoline will pull out years of sludge the previous owner ignored. This is the oil you use when you want your engine to age slow, run clean, and stay honest. But if you want an oil that doesn't just clean, it starts pure from the very first drop. Number 6. Pennzoil Ultra Platinum. Picture a synthetic oil that doesn't start its life in the ground, but in clean, pressurized natural gas. That's why Pennzoil Ultra Platinum always feels a step ahead. Its base oil begins almost crystal pure, and engines respond to that purity fast. Heat, boost, and long trips don't scare it. This oil holds its thickness under pressure, keeps carbon from sticking to rings, and helps turbochargers stay sharp mile after mile. Drivers who switch often notice a calmer idle, quicker revs, and cleaner timing chains during high-mile days. And the real charm? It fights sludge before it forms. The detergents sweep debris away like a street crew clearing the road before sunrise. Older engines run smoother. Newer engines stay cleaner. High RPM engines breathe easier. Pro tip: if your car spends a lot of time in traffic or heat, pair this oil with a high-flow filter to keep the system breathing right. If this breakdown is saving you headaches and helping you pick smarter, tap that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned. More hard-hitting oil tips are coming. And speaking of heavy hitters, the next oil is built for drivers who push their engines harder than most. Number 5. Royal Purple High Performance Synthetic. Purple bottle, serious attitude. Royal Purple is built for drivers who push hard and hate hearing lifter tick or cold start rattle. The secret weapon is its Cinerlec additive. It clings to metal even after shutdown, so parts are not dry when you turn the key in the morning. That's huge, because most engine damage happens right at startup. High heat and high RPM don't scare this blend. It keeps a strong oil film on cams, bearings, and turbo shafts when weaker oils start to shear and thin out. Many drivers notice quicker throttle response, smoother revs, and quieter top ends after a couple of changes. Best use case? Performance cars, trucks that tow, weekend toys, and any engine that lives above 3,000 revolutions per minute more than below it. Pair it with a quality synthetic rated filter and keep the interval around 5,000 to 7,500 miles for hard use. Here's the catch: even the best oil can't save an engine from dumb oil change habits. If you want to avoid the mistakes that wipe out all this protection, watch our video 19 Stupid Oil Change Mistakes That Destroy Your Engine next. It will show you how people ruin great oil without even realizing it. Number 4. AmSoil Signature Series. Engines that tow, climb, and idle for hours don't just work hard, they cook weak oil to death. AmSoil Signature Series is built for that abuse. It's formulated to beat the minimum API SP and ILSA CGF6A standards, not just meet them. That means stronger wear control, better turbo protection, and tighter control over deposits than basic certified oils. In industry tests, Signature Series has shown up to 70 to 75% better wear protection than the standard API limit. That matters when you're towing, running high compression, or sitting in traffic with the AC on full blast. Its high-temperature oxidation resistance slows down thickening and sludge, so rings, lifters, and cam lobes stay cleaner for longer. It also fights low-speed pre-ignition, LSPI, in modern turbo engines, which can shatter pistons when the wrong oil is used. The detergent and dispersant package keeps soot and carbon suspended instead of letting it bake onto parts. Smart setup? Use Signature Series with a long-life filter. Stick to 10,000 to 15,000 miles unless a lab test says otherwise, and never mix it with bargain oils. That way, you get the science it was built on, not guesswork. And if your life involves more diesel clatter, dirt roads, and job sites than smooth commuting, the next oil has built its reputation in that exact world. Number 3. Shell Rotella T6 Full Synthetic. High mileage, hard towing, long commutes. This is where weak oil taps out and leaves metal to fight bare. AmSoil Signature Series is built for those days when the temp gauge creeps up and the engine bay feels like an oven. It is not blended just to pass API SP and ILSA CGF6A. It is built to beat them. In industry wear tests, it can offer about 70% more protection than the minimum limit. That gap is the space between light wear and a rebuild. The base oils hold their thickness at high heat. The detergent package keeps sludge and varnish from gluing rings and lifters. The additives also help cut LSPI in small turbo engines, which can crack pistons when the wrong blend is used. It is a strong match for trucks, SUVs, tuned cars, and anyone who racks up highway miles. Use it with a long life filter, not the cheapest thing at the parts store. Treat 10,000 to 15,000 miles as a smart ceiling. Then confirm with a used oil test if you want to push more. That is how you turn data into years of service. Now, what if your car is a tight European build that demands even more precision? Number 2. Liqui Moly Synthoil Premium. German engines are like tight puzzles. Use the wrong piece, and the whole thing starts to rattle. Liqui Moly Synthoil Premium is built for those tight clearances, long highway pulls, and high compression that punish cheap oil fast. This blend is a true high-end European-style synthetic. It carries tough approvals, which means it has passed tests for wear, sludge, and high-speed heat that budget oils never see. The base oils hold their thickness at high temperature, and the high HT/HS rating keeps a strong film on bearings, cams, and timing chains. Liqui Moly also loads in molybdenum friction modifiers. That forms a thin cushion on metal parts, which calms timing chain noise, smooths idle, and protects during cold starts. Many owners of BMW, Audi, and VW notice less oil consumption and cleaner internals after a few changes. Smart move. Always match the exact approvals in your owner's manual, not just the viscosity. Pair it with a MAN or MAL filter and keep intervals around 6,000 to 8,000 miles, unless your driving is mostly highway. For precise, tight engines, this oil is steady, quiet strength. If you want something even more extreme, oil that clings like glue and feels straight out of a race garage, number 1, Redline High Performance. Race teams love this stuff for a reason. Redline starts with an ester-based oil, the same family used in jet engines. Ester molecules grip metal surfaces, even when the oil drains back. That grip means strong film strength at startup, high RPM, and high heat. The parts are never running dry. Zinc and phosphorus levels are higher than in many basic synthetics. That is great for cams, followers, and turbo shafts that live under heavy load. It also has a very strong high-temp viscosity rating, so the oil does not turn watery when the gauge climbs. Used oil tests often show low wear metals, even in engines that see track time or hard street pulls. Best match? Tuned cars, turbo builds, track toys, and drivers who hit redline often. It is also a smart upgrade for stout V8s that see towing or hot weather abuse. One caution though, always match the viscosity and check that it suits your emission system and warranty. For pure grip and protection, redline feels like race oil you can actually use daily. If you've made it this far, you've earned a bonus, and this one flies under the radar for most American drivers. Bonus oil: Ravenol VSW and Ravenol HSW. This is the most honest motor oil company out there, and they don't come with just one great product, but two. The first is the VSW, originally developed for Volkswagen, but the oil is so good that other car makers had to jump on board. VSW is a PAO-based full synthetic built on Ravenol's proprietary USVO and Clean Synto technologies, with a PAO content sitting between 45 and 65%. The HSW sits right alongside it, a true synthetic with a PAO content of more than 30%. Both oils work across gasoline and diesel engines without missing a beat, but here's where it gets nuts. In Volkswagen cars, you can run the VSW for up to 2 years before changing it. 2 years. That's a boast no American brand can make or back up. But here's the flip side. Not every synthetic is a hero. Some blends look fine on the label and still eat engines alive over time. So now we need to talk about the 5 worst synthetic oils you can put in your engine. Number 5. Cheap no-name online oils. A shiny bottle, a bold, full synthetic label, and a price so low it feels like a steal. That's how these oils hook people. But behind that bargain is the biggest trap in the lubrication world. Many of these online brands are blended from the cheapest Group 3 base oils available, sometimes even re-refined stock that's been recycled multiple times. The problems show up fast under heat. These oils oxidize early, thicken into sludge, and shear down until they flow like water. With weak detergent packages, carbon clings to pistons, rings, and timing chains, where metals pile up in used oil tests. Iron, copper, and aluminum all climb fast because the film strength collapses. Turbo cars suffer the most. Hot oil cokes inside the turbo, starving the bearings. Idle gets rough. Compression drops. Fuel economy sinks. And because these oils rarely list proper certifications, you never really know what protection you're getting. If the brand won't show certifications, base oil group, or MSDS data, walk away. Real synthetics don't hide their paperwork, but the danger isn't limited to mystery brands online. Some store shelves carry oils that look legit but cut corners just as hard. Number 4. Generic store brand synthetic oils. The bottle looks clean. The price looks safe. The label says synthetic, but pop the hood after a few thousand miles, and the truth shows up fast. Most generic store brand synthetics are blended to hit the lowest acceptable limits. That means weaker detergents, thin additive packages, and base oils chosen for cost, not durability. Under real driving heat, these oils shear down early, viscosity drops, bearings lose the oil cushion they depend on, sludge forms around the rings, and in turbo engines, the oil cooks into hard carbon that clogs the oil return line and pushes temps even higher. Used oil tests often reveal higher iron and aluminum compared to name brand synthetics that use stronger antioxidants and better base oils. Store brands also struggle with oxidation. Leave them in too long, especially in hot climates, and they turn dark, acidic, and thick. Timing chain wear rises, idle gets rough, and fuel economy dips. Always check the approvals on the back label. Meets requirements is not the same as approved. If the bottle skips Dexos, ACEA, or manufacturer specs, put it back. But there's another trap people fall into: oils that are truly high performance, but only for the racetrack, not the morning commute. Number 3. Racing oils used in daily driving. The label screams horsepower, the specs look wild, and the bottle feels like it belongs in a pit lane. But racing oil in a daily driver is one of the fastest ways to turn a healthy engine into a noisy, carbon-choked mess. Race oils are engineered for engines that get torn down often, not cars sitting in traffic or idling at stoplights. Most racing blends run with little to no detergents because track engines don't need long-term cleanliness. They get rebuilt before sludge ever forms. In a street engine, though, that missing detergent pack lets carbon settle on rings, lifters, and timing components. Slowly, the engine loses compression, idles rough, and starts burning oil. Racing oils also run thin at high temperature by design. They're meant to flow fast at full throttle, not survive 20 minutes of bumper-to-bumper heat. In daily driving, that thin film can starve bearings, fuel LSPI in small turbos, and cook itself into varnish on hot surfaces. And because most race oils skip API SP, ILSA CGF6, and OEM approvals, they offer no guarantee against timing chain wear or turbo deposits. If the bottle says not street legal for competition use or shows no certifications at all, save it for a track-only build. But the next trap hits even more daily drivers. Oils branded as high mileage, but packed with cheap seal-swelling chemicals that do more harm than good. Number 2. Off-brand high-mileage oils with cheap seal swellers. A lot of drivers grab these bottles hoping to quiet leaks, reduce burning, or freshen up an older engine. And on the surface, they seem to work. The problem is how they work. Many off-brand high-mileage oils rely on aggressive seal-swelling chemicals that force old rubber seals to puff up fast. It stops a drip today, but it ruins the seal tomorrow. When seals swell past their natural size, the rubber loses its structure. Over months, the material softens, tears, and pulls away from the housing. That leads to rear main seal failures, cam seal leaks, and valve cover seepage that cost hundreds to thousands to fix. Cheap brands use these chemicals because they mask problems long enough to make the oil look effective, even though the engine is slowly getting weaker. These oils also cut corners on the base stock. Many are made from low-grade Group 3 blends that oxidize fast and evaporate under heat. That raises oil consumption, fouls spark plugs, and thickens the oil into sludge around piston rings. Additive dropout is another issue. Detergents separate in the bottle, causing uneven protection and carbon buildup where you least want it. Real high-mileage oils protect seals. They don't chemically attack them. And now, we reach the most common engine killer of all, the mistake people make even with good oil in the bottle. Number 1. Oils with wrong viscosity or no certifications. This is the mistake that destroys more engines than all the cheap oils combined. Even the best synthetic on the shelf can turn into a nightmare if the viscosity is wrong, or the bottle lacks real certification. Modern engines are built with tight tolerances. Some need thin oil to reach tiny passages fast. Others need thicker oil to hold pressure under heat. Get it wrong, and the damage starts quietly. Too thick? The oil moves slowly, starving the top end during cold starts. Lifters tap, timing chains stretch, and bearings scrape without a proper oil film. Too thin? The oil can't hold pressure at high temperature. The film collapses, metal rubs metal, and wear metals spike in hours, not months. Then there's certification, API SP, ILSA, CGF6, Dexos 1 Gen 3, ACEAA3/B4. These aren't marketing badges. They are proof the oil survived tests for wear, sludge, fuel dilution, turbo deposits, LSPI, shear stability, and extreme heat. If the bottle says meets requirements but isn't approved, it's a gamble you don't want to play. Non-certified oils often shear early, thicken into sludge, or burn off fast in real engines. Always match viscosity from the oil cap or owner's manual. Check for real approvals, not vague claims, and never trust an oil that hides its certifications on the back label. Engines last when the oil is matched, not guessed. Now that you know which oils protect your engine and which ones destroy it, there's one more thing you need to hear. Japanese engines routinely hit 600,000 miles, and it comes down to one simple secret most drivers never learn. Click the video on screen right now to find out what it is.